It has been a very busy few days for Ukraine's parliament. They just reinstated the 2004 constitution, which basically turns Ukraine back to a parliamentary system rather than a presidential one. The parliament also appointed a new interior minister and speaker of the parliament, both which are part of the Fatherland Party led by the recently freed Yulia Tymoshenko. And now Parliament is moving to impeach measures against former President Viktor Yanukovych, or should I say current president, because even before the impeachment process started, the Parliament dismissed Yanukovych on grounds that he was incapable of fulfilling his presidential duties. This is very dubious because, technically speaking, such a charge does not exist in Ukraine's constitution. Now, I'm not defending the legitimacy of Yanukovych, but the parliament simply bypassed the entire impeachment process and thus acted against their own constitution. Therefore, one can argue whether this was a coup or not. My name is Shirvan, and this is a Caspian report for Maidan TV. Based on the 2004 constitution, the president of the country can only be dismissed from office by A. resignation, and Yanukovych has made it clear that he does not intend to voluntarily resign, B. by reasons of health, and this requires a medical confirmation, C. by death. Even though his whereabouts are unknown right now, he was still alive when the parliament dismissed him, and finally by the process of impeachment. So as you can see, the last option is the only viable option. Now let me quickly explain the process of impeachment. First, at least 2/3 of the parliament would have to vote for the process to charge the president with treason or criminal offense. Then an investigation commission is set up. The conclusion of that commission is then sent back to the parliament, who then have to approve it by 3/4 majority. Next, this decision is sent to the Constitutional Court, who has the final word over it. The whole process would take a few months, but the problem here is that the people in the streets are impatient and have no desire for a lengthy process. They want to see Yanukovych ousted right now, not in a month or two, and perhaps that is what ultimately matters the most, the will of the people, not bureaucratic protocols. So what happened is that the parliament did not go through the proper channels and simply bypassed the entire process of impeachment. Again, I want to point out that I'm not defending Yanukovych. He himself bypassed a list of procedures in his presidency. He used state revenues to buy out private companies and then just gave them away to family members and friends. It is estimated that he stole at least $13 billion from the national treasury. Perhaps Yanukovych believed he could manipulate the impeachment process by bribing the judges and the investigation commission and quietly leave the stage. After all, he had done it before. Yanukovych basically turned a democratic state into a bankrupt autocracy by promoting corruption. So I have no sympathies to the man, but I just thought you should know that for better or worse, this was technically a coup. I think the fact that the mainstream media has failed to even mention this essential piece of information just shows how uninformed most of these enterprises really are. All they care about is ratings. And the ratings lie with taking emotional pictures, filming riots. People are simply not appealed by boring constitutional amendments. And this is why there is a gap between the reality and what's portrayed in the media. Anyways, this was a Caspian report by me, Shirvan, doing a report for Maidan TV. If you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. And for more information, be sure to visit the provided website and Facebook pages of Caspian Report and Maidan TV. And as always, thanks for watching and Sarol.